Now, from the meltdowns on MSNBC last night, it's clear that the usual on-air race hustlers certainly aren't learning any lessons from this. They're still continuing with their spin long after it's clear that nobody buys it anymore. It's pathetic to watch, but it's also instructive. These are the last gasps of a form of propaganda that is now, as I said, totally impotent. And it was truly comical at points. Joy Reid, for example, praised Kamala for running a quote-unquote flawless campaign. Watch.
All right. I really like Matt Walsh. He's got good takes. I seem to agree with him pretty much on everything so far. And he makes his point really well. And of course, now he's going to relish in the rivers of salt emanating from MSNBC and particularly from Joy Reid. So let's take a look and see what wise things Joy Reid at MSNBC is going to say.
Woman president, let alone a woman of color. Let's just be clear. And nothing that was true yesterday about how flawlessly this campaign was run is not true now. I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed them. You know, I mean, she had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Taylor Swift, the Swifties.
Flawless. You know, she had Taylor Swift. It was flawless. What else do you need? That's all it takes. A flawless campaign that got totally trounced, yet it's flawless. No flaws. No flaws in a campaign that led to this woman getting blown out. Amazing. You know, and Kamala refused to speak to the most popular podcast host in the country. She barely did any interviews at all. She proposed massive new taxes on unrealized capital gains, along with price controls, you know, promising effectively to destroy what was left of the American economy. She reversed pretty much every one of her policy positions from the past few years on everything from seizing firearms to eliminating private health insurance to banning fracking. Offered no explanation for any of this. But according to Joy Reid, these are all markers of a flawless candidate. Not one single flaw. So how did Kamala fall apart then? What happened to the campaign? Well, you probably know what Joy Reid's going to say. She explains that white women voted on the basis of race, meaning they didn't vote for Kamala because she's black, and watch.
You have a state where you've got a 6-week abortion or a 12-week abortion. I think theirs might be 12 weeks.
Yep.
But it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy. And, you know, God bless Shannon Watts, who has tried to have that conversation. But if people aren't receptive to it, and if people vote more, party line or more on race than on gender and on protecting their gender, there's really not much more that you can do but tell people what the risks are and leave it to them to do the right thing.
Thank God for the patriarchy. That's what I say. Thank God for the patriarchy. Joy Reid, the patriarchy brought you this beautiful Western civilization you enjoy complaining about so much. The patriarchy built everything you see around you. The patriarchy maintains and develops everything you see around you. The patriarchy protects you. The patriarchy does all these things, and you and your ilk love to complain about it. Let's see what Matt Walsh has to say. I'm sure this is going to be good. Oh, and of course, you know, white women, what was her big thing? White women didn't turn up to vote in favor of abortion or reproductive rights, as leftists or Democrats call it, i.e. abortion, i.e. killing their unborn children. Yeah, very bad of those white women not to vote for killing their own babies.
Yep, it's all the fault of white people, women. Yeah, you know, scapegoat, just respond to this by denigrating, the vast majority of the American population. Great idea. That'll help you in the next elections. This is the degree of introspection that somebody like Joy Reid is capable of. And if we're being honest, it's why MSNBC is probably going to change a lot in the next 4 years. If it's able to continue to exist, it means it's going to have to change. Nobody takes this lazy, pitiful commentary seriously anymore. Just nobody takes it seriously. In response to a defeat of historic proportions, Democrats and MSNBC are now reduced to calling Democrat voters racist. That's where we are. Now, what's more likely is that, contrary to Democrats' expectations, most women are not obsessed with killing their own children. Now, that's the issue here. The whole pitch to women voters from Democrats was, hey, vote for us and so that you can kill your babies. Turns out that pitch is not good enough for the majority of women. Maybe it was a mistake to make every single advertisement into a demented lie about abortion when Americans are struggling to pay for groceries. Americans are thinking about how are they going to feed their children, not how can I kill my children. So could that be the problem? Could it be possible that Americans, including white women, are more worried about the cost of living than their ability to kill their own child? Could it be that the majority of parents are more concerned about caring for their children than killing them? That's something to think about. That might be an interesting conversation, but they can't have that conversation on MSNBC because it would contradict one of the many false narratives they concocted. It's the same story on CNN where Van Jones, as many people predicted, was on the verge of tears last night. This is a lot of fun. Let's watch.
I hear what you're saying, and I do see it differently because I'm thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite who are hurting tonight. There are African-American women who know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months. And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt. And they were hoping that maybe this time, one of their own could be seen as worthy. And once again, they're facing rejection. And that hurts. They thought tomorrow morning they're going to walk out with their shoulders back a little bit, maybe able to breathe for the first time and feel like they belong someplace. They did everything that they knew how to do. And it's going to be harder than it should be tomorrow for them to hold their heads up. And they're not the only people who are hurting tonight. If you're a parent of a trans kid, your child's face was used as a springboard to power for somebody. That doesn't feel good. There are going to be people tomorrow, we're going to be handing clothes at the dry cleaners to people who don't have papers. There are going to be people who are going to be cleaning your teeth tomorrow who don't have papers. And they're terrified tonight.
Wow, those drama classes, those high school drama classes really came in handy for Van Jones there. On the verge of tears, his voice was shaking, ready to break, because he's really concerned about these people who are, they're heartbroken. He's speaking for all these people, Van Jones is. All of these people whose dreams have been crushed, who no longer have any opportunity. Like, what? Where did that come from? And who exactly are you speaking for, you condescending POS? Absolutely incredible. Let's listen to a little bit more of Matt Walsh, see if he has anything.
He's not mad, he's disappointed.
Disappointed.
He's disappointed in all of you Americans, you voters. You didn't do you didn't do what Van Jones wants you to do. Van Jones made it very clear. Hey, listen, American people, did you not hear what Van Jones has been Van Jones made it very clear what he wants you to do. And you didn't do it. And he's very disappointed.
All right. Yeah, fantastic takes. Matt Walsh, right on the money as always. And CNN doing what they do. Well, all the MSNBC, CNN, all the mainstream media. the anti-Trump mainstream media just doing what they do. The salt is flowing. They're not melting down so much as they did after his first victory back in 2016. It's strangely muted, in fact. Let me know if you have noticed that yourself. Let me know in the comments, because I've noticed that, yeah, they accepted the results of the election because, they're the bigger people. And they're none of these crazy meltdowns like we saw in 2016. So maybe that's part of their new strategy, but I'm sure they'll be organizing the resistance. I've already seen some of my family posting stuff on Facebook. I've said before in other videos, I am the outlier in my entire extended family. Every one of my family is somewhere on the spectrum between Democrat, liberal, leftist, progressive, libtard. They're all way on that end. I'm on the opposite end. I'm like the black sheep. And I'm already seeing their Facebook posts. We must, the resistance starts now. We will not stand for tyranny. It's like, oh my God, here we go again. 2016 all over again, but fine by me. I hope they continue with this same nonsense. It will just make our side stronger. It will make, America first stronger. Decent people who want to live ordinary lives, not be bombarded with accusations of being racist and bigoted and transphobic and all that. They don't want their kids indoctrinated at school to cut parts of their body off and think they're the other gender or an animal or whatever. They don't want any of these things. All these things weren't even up for discussion just 20 years ago. You would have been put you would have been put in treatment if you were promoting this kind of stuff. Now we have medical organizations saying it's okay. So it all goes together, but I'm glad that they are going to resist reality, because it will make those of us on the side of reality all the more stronger. So let me know what you think of this, and if you share my views on this. And of course, in the meantime, please like and subscribe. It always helps. Every subscription helps, and every like helps me to grow the channel and continue making content for you.